What would you do if someone planned a wedding in your backyard without asking? I'm Alex, a single dad who moved to Willow Creek for peace after a messy divorce. My modest home, with its sprawling garden, was my sanctuary. But the HOA president, Karen, had other plans. She was notorious for her iron grip on the neighborhood, fining people for unapproved mailbox colors or unsightly lawns. I kept my head down until one morning I found a flyer on my doorstep. Willow Creek's grand wedding extravaganza hosted at 42 Maple Lane. That was my address. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I called Karen expecting an apology. Instead, she scoffed. Your yard's the only one big enough, Alex. It's for the community's image. You'll be fine. She claimed the HOA bylaws allowed community events on private property with board approval, which she'd conveniently secured without my consent. I checked the bylaws. They were vague, but nothing explicitly permitted this. Furious, I demanded she cancel. She laughed, saying, "It's happening in 2 weeks. Deal with it." Over the next week, Karen's crew invaded my property. They set up tents, strung fairy lights, and trampled my garden. My daughter, Lily, cried seeing her favorite rosebush crushed. I pleaded with the HOA board, but they were Karen's cronies, dismissing me as uncooperative. Then came the twist. My neighbor, Tom, a quiet retiree, overheard Karen bragging at a board meeting. She'd pocketed $5,000 from the bride's family for venue fees, claiming it was HOA funds. Tom, a former lawyer, slipped me a recording of her admission. This wasn't just bullying, it was fraud. Armed with Tom's evidence, I dug deeper. The wedding setup violated local zoning laws. My property wasn't zoned for commercial events. I contacted the city's permitting office, who confirmed Karen had no legal permits. I hired a lawyer, Sarah, who was thrilled to take on a classic Karen. She drafted a cease and desist letter, citing the zoning violation and fraud. Karen ignored it, smugly telling me, "You can't stop progress, Alex." The wedding day arrived. Guests in tuxedos and gowns flooded my street. Karen, in a garish pink blazer, directed caterers like a dictator. I stayed calm, watching from my porch. At noon, my lawyer arrived with a city official and a demolition crew I'd hired. The official presented Karen with a stop work order, citing the unpermitted event. Her face turned crimson. "This is outrageous," she shrieked, waving her clipboard. Sarah handed her the fraud evidence, including Tom's recording. Karen's confidence crumbled. The crew began dismantling the tents. Guests gasped as tables were folded and floral arches toppled. The bride sobbed, but I felt no pity paid Karen without verifying the venue. Karen tried to rally the crowd, yelling, "This man's ruining a sacred day." But Sarah loudly explained the fraud, and murmurs turned to glares at Karen. The city official warned her of fines and potential charges. Defeated, Karen stormed off, muttering threats. By evening, my yard was clear, though battered. Lily and I planted new roses together, reclaiming our space. The HOA held an emergency meeting, and Karen was ousted as president. The bride's family sued her for the $5,000, and the city fined her for zoning violations. Rumors spread that she was selling her house to cover legal fees. I didn't celebrate, but justice felt sweet. I learned to stand up for my boundaries, thanks to Tom's courage and Sarah's expertise. My home is my haven again, and Lily smiles when she sees our roses bloom. What do you think? Was I right to fight back? Or should I have let the wedding happen for community spirit? Share your thoughts below.